Hi folks, so this is just a really short video that I wanted to do kind of as a response to a video that I watched last night, which is by Brimwood Farm. If you haven't heard of Brimwood Farm, then do go check out Brimwood Farm's YouTube channel. It's where a lot of my inspiration for things that I'm doing have come from, so massive credit to Geoff. But Geoff hasn't been able to do videos for a couple of months, what with lockdown and a stressful move to finally live his dream on the farm, which if you follow his channel you'll know his story. And it just really struck a chord with me, which made me want to do this quick little thing about pressure and failure and the pressure that we put on ourselves, even if the failure that we experience is something that was caused, you know, by situations beyond our control, basically. And I think it's something that we all feel, and perhaps when we're all looking at other people's lives, you think that they are more polished than your own or more successful than your own. It's quite a human nature thing to do. I think we all do it from time to time, and you have to remember that there's probably a lot going on in the background that none of us see about each other's lives. And, you know, naturally, because we want to be positive and we want to share the things that are going well on social media, we're more likely to be sharing the things that are successful, and it does give a distorted view of what's going on in the world, and then the pressure piles on even more. I mean, you know, that's nothing revolutionary. I think we all know that as just being part of human nature and part of living in a world with social media. But I wanted to highlight it, and I want to share one of my failures, of which there have been many this year, because I'm very much learning, and hopefully anyone watching this will, you know, think about that and reflect that anything that they are, you know, beating themselves up about, or is really getting them down, they might just be a bit gentler really with themselves. That's kind of what I hope for. So I'm going to show you a failure that I have been keeping off camera for about a month, and it's really naughty. So let me just turn this around. Okay, so this is my front door, and this is my failure. And I'm only just taking these out the basket, and I ought to have done it about a month ago. And despite my best efforts to kill them, I've still got ripe fruit. So yeah, these should be beautiful hanging baskets full of flowers, full of fruit, and just looking glorious around the front of my house. And they're not at all, are they? I mean, that is pretty hideous. But I'm sharing it now. Even though today I'm gutting those baskets and I'm going to prepare them for putting in some, ahead of autumn, some new flowers. So what happened there? What happened there was pneumonia, ambulance, hospital, lockdown, family stepping in and looking after my plants for me. You could say a lot of that was out of my control, but I still felt very responsible for the next step, which is partly in my control, which was when I began to get better. I tried to sort out the muddle. I've talked about this in the past, the muddle of the tomatoes. I couldn't work out what was a cordon variety, which grows straight up, and what was a tumbling cherry variety, which should cascade out and fill the baskets. So I made what I thought was an educated guess. I got it pretty much 100% wrong, and I put everything in the wrong place. So naturally the hanging basket tomatoes, which were actually a cordon variety, they couldn't grow, they couldn't flourish, and by the time I realised, it was sort of too late to do anything about it. So I just left it, and yeah, I got a bit down about it. I felt like, oh, you know, this is my first year and I can't even get tomatoes right. I have got a lot of tomatoes elsewhere, but these ones didn't work. And yes, I should have probably ripped them out and put something else in straight away when I realised that it was a mistake that couldn't be rectified with the plants I had. But I didn't, because I am human, and because sometimes you just don't feel like it, and that's okay too. It's okay. So yeah, that's basically what I want to share, is that we all do it. You know, we all have things that sometimes are within our control, or sometimes, you know, S happens and it's completely beyond our ability to do anything about it. And either way, we just shouldn't beat ourselves up too much. Go gently, and be kind to yourself. I know there's a lot of be kind stuff right now about being kind to others. Start with yourself. So that was basically it. I'll do another video in a minute about the new no-dig beds that I'm doing. Sorry, my eyes always water on film, never mind. So yeah, I'll do a no-dig video in a minute, so check in with that. As I said, check out Brimwood Farm because the work that Geoff has been doing is quite awe-inspiring, and it really has affected a lot of the decisions that I've been making about creating a suburban homestead in the first place. So go check Geoff out on Brimwood Farm, and if you haven't already, please do think about subscribing to my channel. I will be bringing my successes and my failures to you, hopefully as and when they happen, and not just hiding them as I have been doing. Okay, take care folks.